given by Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, I thank everyone for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to the next part of the session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna Mata Ji, member Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. This is Arvindas from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Arindas Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call regularly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji, Gaur, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shama Gauri Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Manjari Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Is there anyone who would like to introduce on the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. From India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundarangi Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elcon.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karuna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Accept my humble obeisances. Okay, I welcome all of you once again for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, really, we are fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 8.8.26 to 34. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction on Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji on our call today. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in 2004. He earned a MBBS degree from Grant Medical College. Prabhuji joined the ashram in 2010 and he was initiated as a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2012. Prabhuji preaches in various medical and engineering colleges. He also conducts programs for doctors at Bhaktivedanta Hospital and in corporate environments. He is a teacher of Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhava courses. He also conducts congregational programs in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Gaur Vilas Prabhuji has done thorough studies of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. All glories to Prabhuji's all wonderful services. This was the brief introduction, Mataji. Over to you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for that brief introduction. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call very regularly. We are really fortunate to hear from you today on this topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna, thank you, Mataji, thank you all the devotees for this opportunity to serve. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. We are today continuing discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, entitled The Churning of the Milk Ocean. Today we'll be discussing from verse number 26 to 34. Well, I'll recite 26th verse. Shankhaturya mridanganam vaditranam pratuswanaha devanuganam shastrinam nrityatam gayatam abhut. The inhabitants of Gandharvalok and Charanlok then took the opportunity to play their musical instruments such as conchs, bugles, and drums. They began dancing and singing along with their wives. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and great sage Angira, and similar directors of universal management, showered flowers and chanted mantras indicating the transcendental glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the demigods, along with the Prajapatis and their descendants, being blessed by Lakshmiji's glance upon them, were immediately enriched with good behavior and transcendental qualities. Thus, they were very much satisfied. O king, because of being neglected by the goddess of fortune, the demons and Rakshasas were depressed, bewildered, and frustrated, and thus they became shameless. Next appeared Varuni, the lotus-eyed goddess who controls drunkards. With the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the demons headed by Bali Maharaj took possession of this young girl. O king, thereafter, while the sons of Kashyapa, both demons and demigods, were engaged in churning the ocean of milk, a very wonderful male person appeared. He was strongly built, his arms were long, stout, and strong, his neck, which was marked with 3 lines, resembled a conch shell. His eyes were reddish, his complexion was blackish. He was very young, he was garlanded with flowers, and his entire body was decorated with various ornaments. Verse number 34, 33. He was dressed in yellow garments and wore brightly polished earrings made of pearls. The tips of his hair were anointed with oil, and his chest was very broad. His body had all good features. He was stout and strong like a lion, and he was decorated with bangles. In his hand, he carried a jug filled to the top with nectar. This person was Dhanvantari, a plenary portion of the portion of Lord Vishnu. He was very conversant with the science of medicine, and as one of the demigods, he was permitted to take share in sacrifices. Purport. Srimadvacharya remarks, Tesam satyachalanaartham harir dhanvantari vibhu samarthopyasuranam tu swahastad amuchat sudham. Dhanvantari was carrying the jug containing nectar, was a plenary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although he was very strong, the asuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hands. Hare Krishna. This is a section going on where various articles are coming out from the ocean of churning of the milk ocean, ocean of milk when it was churned. Previously also many things came up, and previous to these verses, Lakshmi Devi appeared. Lakshmi Devi was searching for a right suitable husband. She scanned the entire arena. All the demons and the devatas, everybody had some fault. And ultimately, Lakshmi Devi, she chose Lord Vishnu himself. She could not find anyone who is without any faults. And as Lakshmi Devi, she put her garland and on the neck of Lord Vishnu. All the devatas in this section we are hearing, they all rejoiced. Gandharva, Charana, they all rejoiced. All the sages, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Angira Rishi, they all were very happy that ultimately Lakshmi is united with Lord Vishnu. Demons were not at all happy, but they could not do anything. And then the most beautiful personality appeared from the churning of milk ocean, which everybody was awaiting. That Supreme Lord, he appeared in the form of Dhanvantari. And beautiful bodily features of the Lord are described in these verses. How the Lord had a beautiful body, beautiful neck marked with 3 lines. His eyes were reddish. He had basically all the 32 symptoms of a great personality. That's what Chaitanya Charitamrita describes. Nilambar Chakravarti, when he sees small boy Nimai, he understands that he is not an ordinary personality because he has all the symptoms of a great personality. Panch Dirgha Pancha Sukshma Sapt Rakta Shadunnatah Tirasva Pritugambhiro Tvatimshal Lakshano Mahan. 5 things in the body of a great personality are very broad. 5 are very small. Pancha Sukshma. Pancha Dirgha, Pancha Sukshma. Saptaraktaha, 7 are reddish. Shadunnataha, 6 are raised. 3 are broad, 3 are deep, 3 are small. So the Supreme Lord always have all these wonderful features, and he's dressed wonderfully. He's carrying a pot of nectar in his hand. And interestingly, Dhanvantari, although he is a Supreme Lord, who is having all the powers of the Supreme Lord, He was just standing, as this purport describes, that Asuras, they took away the jug of nectar from his hands. It is a little bewildering to understand how can Supreme Lord, who has all the powers, allow this to happen? As if he is helpless, he has no strength. Supreme Lord acts in a way which bewilders everyone. Vishwadev, he tells Yudhishthir Maharaj, nobody can understand how the Supreme Lord acts. Even greatest of the intelligent people get bewildered. Muhyanti kavayopihi. Why Supreme Lord acts in certain way, nobody can understand. And Vishwadev tells that this personality who is standing in front of you, Yudhishthir, is not your maternal cousin. Now, Yanmanyase Matuleyam Surin Mitram Priyattamam Akarot Sachivam Dutam Sauridat Athasarathi. He is not your friend, he is not your maternal cousin, he is not your messenger, he is not your worshipable, he is not your chariot driver. Eshavai Bhagavan Sakshat, he is a supreme Lord himself. Adyo Narayan Puman, he is the original Narayan. And he is moving around in midst of human beings just to bewilder them. Nobody can understand how the Lord works. Nahi asya karhi chitrajan puman ved vidhitsitam yad vijigyasaya yukta muhyanti kavayopi. Nobody can understand how the Lord is working in a certain way. But all his pastimes are to give a facility to his devotees to sing his glories, to discuss his pastimes. That's why the Lord acts in certain ways. Lord acts in many, many bewildering ways. As Uddhavji, when he meets Vidura, Vidurji is asking so many things, and Uddhav tells, it is so very bewildering for me to understand how Lord is working in such way. He who is so powerful, Supreme Lord himself, fear personified, fears him, and he is running out of fear of Jarasandha. He is self-satisfied and he is dancing with other men's wives. He is unborn, still he takes birth from the womb of Devaki. It is all bewildering. Kalatmano yat pramadayutashrama swatman rate khidyati dhir vidamiha. Khidyati dhir vidamiha. It is bewildering. So when Lord acts in certain ways, we should not try to understand why Lord is doing something. Don't try to understand why, because nobody can understand. But what we should do, we should always focus on what Lord wants us to do in life. In this whole pastime of Samudra Manthan, so many things are coming out from churning of milk ocean. All the costly jewels are coming. Apsaras, Gandharva, and the wonderful horse, and Uchaishrava, the horse came, and Ravat appeared, Kaustuba appeared, so many things appeared. Lord had given a special warning to all the devtas in the beginning only. Don't be attached to anything which comes from the churning of milk ocean. And this is a very, very important lesson, important instruction for everyone. We should never be attached to anything which comes as a result of our practice of devotional service. First canto of Bhagavatam describes dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho arthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaekantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha. Our dharma should be practiced for apavarga, dharmasya hi apavargasya na arthaya upakalpate. It should not be practiced for material gains. And if one gets material gain out of practice of dharma, they should not be used for sense gratification. Because by the practice of dharma, by default we'll get some artha. That's a natural outcome. You should understand what is dharma of a devotee. Because the Lord will act in a way to bewilder. Lord always tests his devotees. And we'll see what type of tests Lord puts in the life of his devotees and why. What is dharma of a karmi? Dharma of karmi is to do yajna. And what is the apavarga? Dharmasya hi apavarga. What is liberation for a karmi? That means what is the highest benefit, highest result a karmi can get? That is swarga. Materialistic persons, they want to get elevated to swarga. The dharma of a jnani is yam niyam tapasa brahmacharyena chamena cha damena cha. Control the mind, control the senses, do tapasya. What is the apavarga for a jnani? That is Brahman. What is dharma for a yogi? Yam niyam asan pranayam pratyahar. What is apavarga for a yogi? That is again Brahman. Or if he gets stuck, then he sticks with these. What is dharma for bhakta? Dharma for devotee is what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevana, or the Navvidha Bhakti. What is the liberation for a devotee? That is prema. So by the process of devotional service, so many material benefits will come in the life of a devotee. Narthayopakalpate. They should not be accepted as our goal. One should be detached from these immediate benefits. Because Lord had told these devtas, if you get attached to any of this, you will not endeavor for nectar. If we get attached to any of these things which comes by the practice of devotional service, we will not focus on the highest benefit. So a practitioner of bhakti should not get attached to the material results. Na arthayopakalpate. One should never be attached to material results. We should be very, very careful because these perks and benefits, they come. Just like in any company, if you work, they give salary, they give perks and benefits. As we are working in this so-called, if you can say, Panchatattva Enterprises company, which is started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in which the highest product is Krishna Prem. And Mahaprabhu is giving a salary. What is a salary? Prema dhana bina vyartha daridra jivan. Dasa kori vetan more deho prema dhana. What is the vetan? Vetan means the salary. Prema dhana bina daridra jivan. Vyarth. The highest benefit for a living entity is prema. And we should only aspire for this salary. Dasakari Vetan More Dehu Prem Dhan. Please accept me as a servant of my Lord and give me this Prema Dhan Vetan. And for that purpose, Mahaprabhu has come. Say Panchatattva Mili Prithavi Asiya Urve Prema Bhandarira Mudra Ughadiya Pache Muli Lute Prema Kore Aswadan Yata Yata Piye Trishna Badiya Nukshan. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come with Nityanand Prabhu, Advaitacharya, Gadadhar Pandey, Srivasacharya, Srivas Thakur. Why? To distribute this Prema Dhana. And we should know what is the currency in which we are paid for. In some countries, they pay in dollars. Some countries, euro, dinar, rupee. We should know what is the currency in which we are getting paid in our company of Mahaprabhu. Because if somebody is not aware of the currency, then they may not understand the value of what they have received. What is the currency in which we are paid? This Prema Dhana Vetan, how we are getting, we should be very, very clear about this understanding. This whole process of Samudra Manthan, with so many things coming out, ultimately leading to nectar. We should be very, very careful and aware of what should we expect from our practice of devotional service, what we should focus on, what we should be aware and very, very careful of. What is salary? If we don't know the salary, if we don't know the currency, we may look for the perks and benefits because we will not understand that this is the salary. What is the salary? Ekantalabham vachasona pumsam sushlokamole gunavadamahu shrutescha vidvat virupakritayam katha sudhayam upasamprayogam. There is only one benefit of human beings in this world. What is that? Sushlokamole gunavadamahu. The chance to hear the name, form, pastimes of Shushlokamole, Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is glorified by the greatest of the personalities, Vidvat Virupakritayam. So it's chance to hear and chance to chant. That's the currency of love. Golokara Premdhana Harinama Sankirtana. There are only two inspirations in this world: love or lust. If we don't develop our attraction for Krishna, then we develop our attraction for the things of the world and people of the world. One time, Srila Prabhupada came back to India. One Indian gentleman, he came to meet him. And he had heard that Swamiji went to America with 40 rupees and he came back with 40 crores. So he came with an expectation that Swamiji will tell some business tips because he understood that Swamiji was a businessman in the previous ashram. So he went and asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how did you do all this? Aapne ye sab kaise kiya? Hindi conversation was going on. So Prabhupada, he said, in Hindi he said, मैं गया, करताल लिया, पेड़ के नीचे बैठा, कीर्तन किया, सब हो गया. I went there, took my kartals, sat below a tree, did kirtan, and everything happened. So this businessman, he could not understand. He said, no, Swamiji, what else you did? और क्या किया? Swamiji said, नहीं, बस कीर्तन किया, सब हो गया. I did kirtan, everything happened. He said, नहीं, Swamiji, ऐसा नहीं होता, ऐसा थोड़ा ना होता है. Business ऐसे नहीं होता. So he said, no, this is not the way business is done. So he was not understanding that this is not an ordinary material business which Srila Prabhupada started. This kirtan of the holy names is so powerful, it can transform the entire world. Srila Prabhupada, he would tell that if I get 18 capable, able men, we can transform the whole world. That's the power of holy names of the Lord. That is the highest currency in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is paying us. Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj, he recalls, Srila Prabhupada was once in his room in Calcutta. A life member came and he said, Swamiji, can you show us some miracle? Prabhupada said, yes, some yogis, they show miracle by creating some rasgullas. You know what's my miracle? I went to America with 40 rupees, and in short span of time, I have temples all over the world worth 400 million rupees. Isn't that a miracle? So this businessman thought for a minute and said, oh yes, that's a miracle. How did it happen? Shushlo Kamale Gunavadamahu. Srila Prabhupada had that faith. He had faith in the currency, and he was not distracted by any of the other perks and benefits. Srila Prabhupada, he told one time, Krishna tested me twice. Once by taking away everything from me, and other time by giving everything to me. We should never be distracted by any of this. We should understand what is the real salary which Krishna is giving us. What's the greatest treasure in ISKCON we are looking for? That is sound vibration. Ekantalav is sound vibration. The holy names of the Lord which we are chanting, that is the highest treasure. Nothing else. What we have to do is, we have to learn to develop a taste for the holy names, taste for Srimad Bhagavatam. Our entire practice of bhakti is for this end only, to develop that taste. If the taste is not there, then everything is useless. How long we can drag on if we are not developing that taste? And that taste, the first installment of that ruchi is nishtha. We know the stages: Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha. Then ruchi. So at the level of sadhakas, we can actually practice bhakti at nishtha. But ruchi is given by the Lord. But that will be given only when we want it intensely, when we are offering our intense prayers. Then we will be given that ruchi. Of course, all of us, we experience Krishna at our level of devotional service. That is the outcome of practice of bhakti. Bhakti para isha anubhava virakti. Just like when we eat, three things happen: tushti, pushti, kshutapayonubhasam. Bhakti pareshanubhavo virakti anyatra chaisha trikaeka kala prapatyamanasya yadhashnadasya tushti, pushti, kshutapayonubhasam. When we eat, we feel nourished, hunger decreases, and we get satisfaction. Similarly, by the practice of devotional service, three things happen simultaneously. We experience Krishna's presence, para isha anubhava. We become more steady in bhakti, devotion, and we get virakti, we get detachment from the world. So every devotee experiences Krishna according to their realization. Everyone has that. Everyone has some realization of Krishna in some way or other. Krishna as Paramatma is really working hard. He is always ready to give good guidance to living entities. But we don't listen. As Rich Bihari Prabhu was telling once, that from inside, sometimes mind speaks and sometimes Paramatma speaks. When the mind speaks, it speaks loudly, fast, and attached. Repeatedly, the same voice will come. You do this, you have to do, you have to do, you have to do. And when Krishna speaks, when Paramatma speaks, soft, slow, and detached. Sometimes you'll hear some voice very softly coming in a very slow way. And if you don't notice it, it will disappear. It will not come again. That is Paramatma. Lord is always speaking, constantly speaking, but we don't listen. Because Lord speaks very softly and slowly, and He's not attached. If you don't listen, He will not speak it again. We have to offer our constant prayers. Oh my Lord, I want to listen to you. Gradually, we will hear slowly, sometimes, Lord speaking. That is a constant prayer, that is a constant practice. Otherwise, just like the company gives so many perks and benefits, all these things coming out from the churning of the milk ocean, they are like the perks and benefits which are coming out, which will come as part of our practice of devotional service. Very careful. We should be very careful. Otherwise, we will just focus on perks and benefits and we'll forget the salary. Because as we are walking in this path of devotional service, naturally these benefits will come. Some perks are given by the devotees and some are given by the Lord Himself. As we spend years in Krishna consciousness, devotees will start appreciating us. Devotees will start glorifying us. Worship, name, fame, puja, love, pratishtha, it will come. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in Madhurya Kadambini, in the Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, there are 6 things, 6 levels a devotee experiences. Utsahamai, Ghanatarala, Taranga, Vishaya Sangar, Niyamakshama, and Tarangarangini. What is this Tarangarangini? Tarangarangini means a devotee becomes full of wonderful qualities. He is known in the devotee community as a very, very steady devotee, wonderful devotee, full of good qualities. Naturally, what will come? He'll get name, fame, prestige, respect, distinction, position. Very, very deadly. If this devotee is not careful, these things are like the creepers. They are the weeds which grow along with our Bhakti Lata creeper. Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami all this. Koti nati pratisthasha jivahim san puja labha pratishtha diyat upa shakhagan. They are upashakha, they are the weeds. Koti nati, diplomacy. Pratisthasha, desire for fame. Jiva himsan, violence against living entities. Puja, labha, pratishtha, desire for name, fame, prestige. These things will come automatically. By the practice of bhakti, it will come. We should be very, very careful. Devotees like to glorify others. We will be glorified even if we are fool number 1. Even if we are not such great, wonderful devotees, someone will glorify us just because we have spent few years in Krishna consciousness. We have to be really careful. Some anarthas, they come because of our previous lives, sinful activities. They are called as dushkritutta anartha. They are envy, pride, all these 6 anarthas. Kam, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, matsarya. Some anarthas, they come because of our previous life pious activities. They are called as Sukritutta anartha. They push us to enjoy sense gratification. There are some anarthas which come because of our offenses in our services towards the Lord, towards the deities, towards the devotees. They are called as aparadha utta anartha. There are some anarthas which arises because of our practice of devotional service. Bhakti utta anartha. So we may wonder, how can bhakti create anarthas? Bhakti doesn't create anartha. But the bhakti, because we are putting water of Shravan and Kirtan on this Bhakti Lata beach, the water goes to our other tendencies also. Bhakti Uttanartha is wealth, worship, name, fame, all these desires, they naturally start growing. At first glance, we should cut these weeds. We will get glorification, and we like to be glorified. The desire for glorification is so deeply rooted. One time, one of the Prabhupada disciples, Vilas Prabhu, he was sharing that Prabhupada came to this particular temple, and the devotees in that temple, they had done wonderful book distribution. Vilas Prabhu was the temple president. So, and he was leading that book distribution. Prabhupada came, he entered a room, and there were about 30 devotees, all young, 17, 18 years old devotees. So, and they came, they sat, and this Vilas Prabhu was little late. So the room was already full. So he thought, I am temple president. He made way right through and sat next to Prabhupada. And then after Vilas Prabhu, there was another devotee, Ghanshyam Prabhu. He came, he saw the room full. He very humbly sat at the entrance, quietly. So one devotee, he was introducing everyone, Lochanananda Prabhu. So he was telling, oh, this person is this devotee and this he has done this. And then he said, this is Vilas Prabhu, he's a temple president. Prabhupada didn't even look at him. And Vilas was thinking, why he didn't look at me? My name was mentioned. Didn't he listen? He didn't even nod. What happened? Then he realized, because Prabhupada could sense the ego, the pride. And then Lochanan Prabhu, he was introducing everyone, and then he pointed to Ghanshyam Prabhu, who was sitting at the back, at the entrance practically. He said, and Prabhupada, that's Ghanshyam in the back, he translates your books. And Prabhupada immediately said, oh, where is he? Tell him to stand up. So Ghanshyam, he stood up. Prabhupada thanked him. Who is Ghanshyam? That is Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj. So this pride, it is very, very deadly. Lord never likes it. Our acharyas, they never like it. It will come for sure. Name, fame, respect will come. Devotees will give respect. Even Lord will give some additional benefits. Many of us have experienced after coming to Krishna consciousness, we have developed some skills which we were never aware of. That I have these skills. Some people develop skills of singing, management, speaking. They've never done in their life all these things. Lord gives them all this. Tesham satate yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam. Lord gives. Lord wants to glorify his devotees. That is the reason. Lord likes to give benedictions to his devotees. Lord Narsimdev tells Prahlad, Prahlad, please ask for benedictions. I like to give benedictions to my devotees. Lord, he gives opulences to his devotees because he wants to glorify his devotees. That's the nature of the Lord. Lord is Sarva Saundarya Sangraham, and the most beautiful aspect of the Lord is Lord's beauties. He likes to glorify his devotees. Lord gives wonderful qualities. He gives skills. You should be very, very careful to always be aware that these are not my skills. These are given to me by the Lord, and I have to use them in His service. Otherwise, we'll be proud of all these skills. They are my skills. No, they are not my skills. They are given by the Lord. Lord likes to glorify because that's the nature of the Lord. Krishna, so many demons were killed by Krishna in Vrindavan. Putana, Trinavat, Aghasur, Bakasur, Shakatasur, Pralambasur. These demons are not so famous now, although they were very powerful demons. Who are the most famous demons of Dwapar Yuga? Duryodhan, Kauravas, Jarasandh. Who killed them? Pandavas killed. Why Krishna didn't kill? Krishna could have killed Jarasandh. He defeated him 17 times. He wanted to glorify Bhima. Why Krishna didn't kill all the Akshauhini Senas? He killed 23 Akshauhini divisions of Jarasandh 17 times single-handedly. He wanted to give credit to Arjun. But Arjun never felt, I did it. He was always aware that Krishna is giving me all this capability. Tadvai dhanushtai shavaratho hayaste soham rathi nripatayastada namanti sarvam shanena tadabhuda sadisariktam basmam hutam kuhagaradham evoptumushyam. He's saying, after he returns from Dwarka, he found that Krishna has gone to his abode. He was coming back with his 16,000 queens. On the way, he was attacked by some simple infidel cowherd men with simple bow and arrows. They attacked Arjun. Arjun was the topmost warrior of that time. And they defeated Arjun. And they kidnapped all the wives of Krishna. Arjun was shocked. What has happened? He comes back very dejected, morose. He tells Yudhishthir Maharaj, this is the same Gandiva Tadvai Dhanush. Same arrows, same chariot, same horses, and I am the same warrior. Sarvam Shanena Tadabhuda Sadishariktam. Everything has become null and void because Krishna has left. It is of no use because Krishna has left. It is just like if somebody puts oblations on ashes. Bhasmam hutam. It is just like somebody moves a magic wand in air, nothing will come. It is just like somebody sows seeds on the barren land, nothing will grow. Krishna has left, all my energy is gone. He has taken away. So devotee should not be proud because whatever we have is given by the Lord and it can be taken away by the Lord always, anytime. Arjun never blamed Krishna. He never complained, why you did this with me. He accepted, okay, this is the will of the Lord. He was grateful. He was always grateful. In that whole section of 15th chapter of the first canto, Arjuna is recalling so many things which happened in his life where Krishna helped him And practically, on many occasions, Krishna was not there personally. But a devotee always understands that whatever he is or she is doing, it is by the mercy of the Lord. So Lord likes to glorify his devotees. So devotee should never feel this is my credit now. Prabhupada writes one should not be proud of the borrowed plumes. And the third reason why Lord gives opulences to his devotees, he wants to test his devotees. कृष्ण यदि छूटे भक्ते भुक्ति मुक्ति दिया कबू कृष्ण प्रेम ना देन राखे न रुकाया. Krishna will give everything. He'll give sense gratification. He'll give liberation. He will not give devotion so easily. He will test us. He will keep testing us. He'll tempt us by all these skills, by powers, by capabilities. जन्मैश्वर्य वयो रूपा विद्याऐश्वर्य धनादिभिः यदि यस्य न भवेत् स्तंभ यत्रायं तत्रायं मदनुग्रहात्. Vamanadev is telling, whenever I give opulences to my devotees, they never become proud by my mercy. So if somebody is not proud, even after having high birth, good activities, beautiful body, youthful body, knowledgeable, so many things, good qualities, we should understand that this person has received mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, it is not possible to not be proud. It is very easy to be proud of all this. But a pure devotee is never proud. Pure devotee is never bewildered by the opulences. Just like Dhruv Maharaj, he refused. He says, I don't want anything of this world, O my Lord. Swamin Kritarthosmi Varam Nayache. I don't want the wealth of the world. I was looking for broken pieces of glass. You gave me diamond. Prahlad said, Oh my Lord, don't tempt me. I am not a businessman. I am not a vanik. In Kuvera, we have heard the story of Dhruv Maharaj when he was killing yakshas because one of the yaksha killed his brother Uttam. He went single-handedly alone, only with his chariot driver. With his chariot and chariot driver, he went and attacked the entire city of yakshas, Alkapuri. And he was killing yakshas indiscriminately. Ultimately, Swayambhu Manu had to come and pacify Dhruva. Dhruva, please stop. What are you doing? You are such a great devotee of the Lord. Why are you doing such a sinful activity? For the sin of one person, you are punishing entire dynasty, entire race. So many reasons he gives. Ultimately, Dhruva, he agrees. He stops. Kuvera, who is the master of the Yaksha dynasty, he becomes very pleased. He comes, he glorifies Dhruv Maharaj, and he offers benediction. He says, Dhruva, ask for a benediction. Can you imagine? Kuvera giving a blank check, ask. He's a treasurer of the demigod. He can give any amount of wealth. But what did Dhruva ask? That is very important to understand. Saraj Raje Navaraya Chodito Dhruvo Mahabhagavato Mahamati Haro Savavreya Chalitam Smritim Yayo Taratyayatnena Duratyayam Tamaha. Saraj Rajena, the best kings, Varaya Chodito, he asked for benediction. What? Dhruva, because he was Mahabhagavat and Mahamati, he was most intelligent devotee, he could understand, he knew what to ask. What did he ask? Haro savavre achalitam smritim yayo. Please give me undeterred remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Because by this, taratyayatnena duratyayam tamaha, one can very easily cross this ocean of material existence. So that is a devotee, never gets distracted by all the wealth, by all the prestige, by all the fame, never gets distracted. A devotee doesn't want any material opulence. Although Lord gives it, of course, Lord will give material opulence only when he feels that my devotee will not get distracted by it. Otherwise, he'll not give. That's why Sudama, he was thinking, why Krishna didn't give me wealth? He has not reached his home yet. And he's so very happy that Krishna gave such wonderful reception. But he thinks, why Krishna didn't give me wealth? Because he thought, Adhanoyam dhanam prapya madyan ucchairnamam smaret iti karuniko nunam dhanam me bhurina dadat. Adhanoyam, he is a beggar, he is poor person. Dhanam prapya, if I give him wealth, madyan, he'll be proud. And a proud person can never worship Krishna. He can never remember Krishna. He'll be intoxicated by that wealth. Namam smarit. Therefore, iti karuniko nunam. Merciful Krishna didn't give me wealth. Dhanam me bhurina dadat. So Krishna gives wealth to his devotees. If he understands, if he feels that devotee will not get distracted. So, as practicing devotees, we should be very careful not to get affected by the wealth, because Krishna will test us also by giving something. Naturally, it will come with us, come to us. When we get the wealth of this world, we become proud. When we get the wealth of Krishna Prem, we become humble. Atma Sambhavita Stabdha Dhan Mana Madanvita. The wealth of this world makes one proud. But wealth of bhakti, wealth of Krishna Prem makes one humble. So these perks and benefits will come, name, fame will come. You should always remember nothing belongs to me. One time, one South Indian Sri Vaishnava scholar, he came to meet Srila Prabhupada. And he said, Swamiji, I've read your Bhagavad Gita commentary. It is like Ramanujacharya's commentary only. So basically what you are saying is, you have repeated the same. You have copied it. Prabhupada, he said, thank you for glorifying. In the outside world, if somebody is blamed of copying from somebody else's composition, that is not good. That's an insult. Srila Prabhupada accepted it as glorification. He said, that is my credit. I have not added anything. I have not subtracted anything. I am giving as it is given by our acharyas. That is the mood of a devotee. Whenever some fame comes, pass on to the acharyas. রায় कहे আমি কিচ্ছুই না জানি তুমি এই কাহাও সেই কহেই বাণী হৃদয় প্রেরণা কর জিহ্বায় करावाणी कि कहिए भाल मंद किछुई न जानी. Ramanand Rai tells Mahaprabhu, you are making me speak. I am just a puppet in your hands. I am just like a parrot. I am just like a doll. Viraj Goswami is expressing his humility. He says, I am fallen, I am insignificant, Murkh, Neech, Shudra, Ami, Vishayalalas. Vaishnavagya bole kore etikasa. Because the Vaishnavas, they gave me blessings, they gave me order. That's why I am daring to write this literature. Otherwise, who I am to write Chaitanya Charitamrit? I am insignificant. I am like a puppet in the hands of Acharyas and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hamara sharir kashta putli saman. Because I am old, I can't see anything, I can't hear anything properly, my hands are trembling. Still I'm writing. This is all mercy of Acharyas. This is all mercy of the devotees. This is all mercy of Sri Govinda, Sri Chaitanya, Sri Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shri Bhaktara, Shri Shrotra Vrinda. This is all mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, and all the readers. This is the mercy of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Swarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. He is giving credit to all the acharyas. He is giving credit to Madan Gopal. Shri Madan Gopal More लिखाए आज्ञा कोरी कहते न जुड़ाए तबु रहते न पारी. This is mercy of Madan Gopal. So that's the mood of a devotee. Very careful. Never be proud. Always pass on our glory to the parampara. Always be careful of the worldly fame. Keep hearing about the dangers of worldly fame. Puja, love, pratishtha can distract us gradually from the path of devotional service. Pride is intolerable for the Lord. Balramji, when he was on his pilgrimage, he reached Naimisharanya. We saw an assembly of sages sitting to hear Bhagavatam from a very, very great learned sage, Harshan Suta. He was a direct disciple of Vyasadeva, very well learned in all the scriptures, Ved, Puran, Itihas. ऋषेर भगवतो भूत्वा शिष्योदित्य बहूनि च से इतिहास पुराणानि धर्म शास्त्राणि सर्वशः. He knew all the shastras. When Balramji entered that arena assembly, everybody got up except Harshan Sutra. Because Harshan, he was thinking, I am speaking Bhagavatam. Why should I get up? He didn't understand the personality of Godhead is coming. Balramji, he could sense the pride. Adantasya avinitasya vrita panditamaninaha nagunaya bhavanti sma nataseva jitatmana. This Harshan, he is not sense-controlled. He is not humble. He is considering himself to be a great scholar. No good quality. He is just making a show of scholarly. That's all. And Balramji killed him. So it is very, very important to understand the bad effects of this pride. We should be very, very careful how to handle this and benefits. Nothing is mine. Everything belongs to Krishna. And this out of his. So that is the mood of a devotee. Never like Madhavendra Puri. Pratisthar Bhaya Puri Gela Palaya, he ran away out of fear of fame. Who has fear of fame in this world? People are fearful because they are not getting fame. There it is opposite way. So when we hear all these wonderful pastimes of devotees, how they handled this fame, pride, how they handled this respect, and we also learn, we also, gradually come up to this standard. Okay, so it is time now. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you. Anybody have any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very interesting class and bringing out the importance of very subtle things in a devotee's life, of being humble, not being proud, and also not being carried away, asking for any material things, but asking for love of Godhead. And once they will, when the material things are there, the people might get pride, but when the devotional things have been blessed, they become humble. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all this insightful class. Hare Krishna. Now, I request Bhavamayi Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Dandavat pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhu, thank you so much for a wonderful class. I'm just wondering, well, first I want to say this was a absolutely wonderful class. I've never heard the churning of the milk ocean explained in this manner, to look at the anarthas that may come out of us, or even the talents that may come out of us, and then to look at it as the things that's I guess in an analogy, to look at the churning of the milk ocean. So my question is, what exactly, or what can we look at that's being churned? What is the churning process within ourselves? Would it be the bhakti that's being churned in us that allow these negative and positive things to come out? Or is it just, the process of life churning us? And we just have to recognize that churning and be able to dovetail our good and bad reactions, or karma that comes into Krishna consciousness. If I've made that clear, please answer.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for that question. So basically, the life, as you've asked, is life churning us. In the material world, people, they go through lots of churning, lots of ups and downs, lots of problems, and they feel really, disturbed, like a turmoil in their life. But that turmoil and the churning which we are going through, it is different. Because the churning, the turmoil which people in the material world go through, that is because of their rajogun and tamogun. They are just getting disturbed by their overwhelming desire to enjoy the material world. That creates disturbance for them. That churns their heart because their desires are getting frustrated and nothing good comes out in the end. Shrama eva hi kevalam. The only good thing is their endeavor. That is the only benefit which they get. Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. All the happiness of this world is pregnant with misery. When devotees, they start practicing this path of bhakti, this hearing and chanting, it starts cleansing all the dirt which is accumulated in our heart. In our heart, we have so many emotions. They're like the ocean of emotions, ocean of desires. In that ocean of desires, we have some good desires, some spiritual desires, and many sinful desires. When we start churning this ocean by the hearing and chanting process of bhakti is so wonderful that it starts, bringing out all these anarthas, the dormant sinful desires, which are there at the deepest of our core of hearts. That is the cleansing process. It doesn't start so soon. It starts maybe after years of practice of bhakti. That's why many devotees, they experience, after many years of practice of bhakti, some very, very sinful desires, they come up, which they have never experienced in their entire lives. Some thoughts which they had never thought of in their entire lives, sinful things. Because now the heart is getting churned The ocean is getting churned, the desires are getting churned, and the sinful desires are coming out, getting distilled off. So as they come up, it is painful for the devotees. Like poison which comes out, the first thing which comes out is poison. So when we start churning our heart by this hearing and chanting, that is like our beads. We can, if you want to compare, that is like the Mandar mountain with which we are churning our heart. And it has this hearing and chanting of the names of the Lord brings out the contaminations. It is very painful. So a devotee, what he has to do or she has to do, just be patient. Don't try to handle that and poison. Approach a devotee, take shelter of Krishna, and gradually these anarthas, they will be cleansed off. We don't have to focus on these problems so much. So that is the whole process of anartha nivritti. So this churning which we are experiencing is not the life churning us. Because in millions of lives we have done it. Material world has this innate characteristic of getting, disturbing us. Life getting churned, it seems like, but nothing good comes out. Only thing is we get more disturbed. When we start practicing this bhakti, slowly our anarthas start coming out. And we start getting experience of Krishna in our lives. That's the whole process of Krishna consciousness. We have to be just patient, focusing on the positives, not on the poison, and we'll experience the connection with the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful answer, and I will be meditating and remembering this class and this realizations for a long time to come. Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful question. Thank you, Prabhu, for that answer. Yes, Prabhu. So I request devotees, if they have any questions or comments, they can ask now.
Okay, so I think there are no questions, so we can.
Yes, Prabhuji. Ramagiri Mataji, would you like to say anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm not able to raise my hands. Is that okay to answer?
Okay.
Ask.
Sure, Prabhu. Sure, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for this enlightening us in the morning in various ways of the Samundra Manthan and putting that in our day-to-day lives. It's, I think the hope, most of your classes are applying how to apply in the practical way. That's actually really, we appreciate the way you give us that nectar. I had few things, Prabhu. You had asked, you mentioned, even though the person like Ramaharshana, he was a great devotee, very knowledgeable. But and what happens to his fate? So I was thinking there were various scriptures nowadays, not nowadays, but of course, thinking about Prabhupada's books, and after that, so many acharyas, our Guru Parampara books. And in fact, coming to the Jiva Goswami, he had written 400,000 verses. That's what I heard recently in total. That means so much knowledge is there. Sometimes of course, I'm trying to hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. But looking at this, so much knowledge, my brain is tiny. I don't know how much I can digest. So I was just thinking about, in spite of all those scriptures, if I don't imbibe practically in my life, the fate will be what Balram has given to, Roma Harshana. So that doesn't mean we should not read or gain knowledge, but I was just kind of, where are we and how in our acharyas like Jiva Goswami has given many, many, many scriptures with understanding, and we are, it's far out. So how to digest is kind of a question, Prabhu.
The problem with Rom Harshan was not knowledge. Problem was his pride. Our devotee is supposed to get all the knowledge of devotional service. That is must. But if that knowledge is not having the foundation of humility and dependence on our acharyas, then that knowledge will destroy us. We'll start thinking I am better than my predecessor acharyas. Ultimately, knowledge should transform into realization. What is realization? I'll show you the definition of realization, which Srila Prabhupada says. If somebody can share the screen. 141, first canto, 4th chapter, first verse. Srila Prabhupada, he gives the definition of realization. Because whatever we are reading, we are not there to become storehouse of information. Information is there on Google, on internet. We are here to get realizations, That is very, very important to understand. It is 141 or 144. Please go down, Mataji. Yeah, 141 only. Yes, please wait. So in that, if you see, Prabhupada writes the definition of what is realization, the 5th line here. Personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous acharya, and at the same time, he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. Please go down. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience. This is called realization. So Balaramji, he was not angry on Rom Harshan because he was a great learned scholar. No, he was angry because he was proud. He was not humble. He was thinking, I am greater than Balaramji now. So all our knowledge should bring humility. Because ultimately, we understand that I have so much to do in my life. We are not there to become the parrot-like people cramming all the information. AI is there for that. Google is there, internet is there for that. We have to aspire to get realizations. And realizations is not, transferred. My realizations are my realizations. I cannot give you my realizations. Everybody has to acquire their own realizations in bhakti. That is the beauty of bhakti. We can get information, but that realization we have to work on it. We have to intensely pray for it. Then we have to serve. Yat sevaya bhagavata putas tasyamad udvisha ratiraso bhavet tivra padayor vyasanardana. Vidurji is telling Maitreya, by serving you, your information will become realization for me. So try to get as much knowledge as possible, no problem. At the same time, we should make Srila Prabhupada books as our basic diet. Our basic, our prominent food of bhakti is Prabhupada's purports. And of course, we should read all the acharyas' commentaries. Otherwise, why they are there? It is not that only Prabhupada books, no other books. Why Prabhupada books? Why all these acharyas have written commentaries? So that we can read them. If Prabhupada, he would have lived for long, he would have given commentaries on all the acharyas' books. One time Prabhupada was asked, after many years, I think after 70s, this is there. Prabhupada, which book are you planning to translate? Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita. So devotee said, Prabhupada, you have already written Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada said, no, that was emergency edition. I had to give something. There are so many acharyas who have given so many wonderful things. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, we can write commentary on everyone. So read scriptures. We should read all the commentary of acharyas. Srila Prabhupada will be pleased. Because that is the glory of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has represented our acharyas' commentaries in a wonderful way. Our gratitude towards Prabhupada will increase when we read all these things in a humble manner. Because Prabhupada's commentaries we have heard, we have read, now we can understand the commentaries of acharyas. Out of vanity, as Prabhupada writes here, if we try to surpass, now I don't need Prabhupada's purports, I can access all these acharyas' books. I know Sanskrit also. I can read all these things. Then our knowledge will destroy us. So that is the mood behind reading all these acharyas' commentaries. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
I did not mean that, when we have knowledge, I understand what is said. What I mean to say is, with gaining so much knowledge and your heart, you're not humble, then, that who knows that pride is subtle, right? So, in that way, I'm telling, even though I'm knowledgeable, but if I don't change my heart and and instead of humility, if I develop the pride, what is the use? That was my question.
Yeah, that's why I showed that purport.
Yeah,
We
makes
should
sense.
never can surpass the previous acharyas.
Yes. Yes. Prabhu.
Humility is the basis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So much, Prabhuji. So we request all the devotees to thank Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. If there are no questions or comments, we can end the call here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patityanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His great Gaur Vilas Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your valuable association.
Thank you.